and some math. Some math.
Hey everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about the history of credit and consumerism. We live in a consumer generation, and we're constantly out to buy the next best thing, like the iPhone, the big screen TV, or that brand new Tesla. And if you're like most people, affording these high ticket items are not really in the budget. We live in a microwave society where we want what we want, and we want it now rather than later. And so to understand all of this, it's important to start by taking a look at how we got to this point. Back in 1917, buying things on credit was not common. In fact, it was illegal for lenders to charge a high enough interest rate for businesses to really make money on it at all. Sure, there was some like loan sharks out there, but they would offer people extremely high interest rates, and it was illegal. So generally speaking, it didn't really happen that often. In 1920, there began a demand from the people for big ticket items like cars. So the government relaxed its credit laws, which allowed people to legally start making more of a living off of giving out loans. So borrowing money became socially more accepted. Then the Great Depression hit. Americans now needed to borrow on credit in order to regain their own financial footing. After the Great Depression, the Second World War helped create new jobs, which revived the American economy. And people were making a lot more, so they were able to spend a lot more. And Americans learned that they could continue to borrow because they would continue to make more in the future, making it so they could afford to pay off what they wanted in that moment, what they wanted now. In the 1970s, consumer debt skyrocketed because the opportunity for high-paying factory jobs that people's parents used to have, that decreased as the population increased. So those baby boomers continued to borrow more money to continue living in that same lifestyle that they grew up with. Now today, it is very common that people act like they are living more financially secure than they are. Dave Ramsey calls this crisis living, and he urges people to start acting their wage. My pastor, Danny, used to work as a bank teller back when he was in college, and he said that there was a consistent pattern that people who drove the really nice, fancy cars came in, they wanted to withdraw money in an account that had very, very little. Even though they drove the nice car, the majority of the time, they were completely broke. Conversely, he said that there was multiple accounts where an old rundown car, just a beater, would pull up, and to his surprise, those bank accounts would have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up. What he realized is that the normal American family is actually extremely broke. Get this, the average credit card debt of the normal American family is actually $16,000 in debt. That's credit card debt. That's just like borrowing money to buy that jacket that you want at Target, okay? That is $16,000 in debt. The average mortgage debt, so house payment, is $150,000, meaning that average US American owes $150,000 on their home. The average student loan debt is $33,000, and the average car loan debt is $13,000. Guys, this means that Americans are essentially on average about $200,000 in debt. However, this does not have to be your reality. And if you take the principles that we're going to learn in this class, you can be a future millionaire. And that seriously is no joke at all.
Stay in school, man.